Does he actually believe himself? No, he doesn't. He's like a child arguing with his father who won't be honest with himself or the father. And that's why it's even more of an insult to everybody involved. He doesn't believe what the fuck he's saying. He's just too pathetic to cop to who and what he is. So he's going to make weak ass excuses and justifications. He didn't have a daddy growing up to set him straight. That's the bottom line. All these guys on here think they can bullshit everyone because they never had a man in their life just tell them straight, hey, listen, asshole, I see right through your bullshit. You're embarrassing all of us by continuing it. Please stop and do better. We'll get along just swimmingly. No, they keep the nonsense going. They keep the bullshit lies to themselves and others going. They keep the projections and the bitterness going. And the procrastination and the laziness and unwillfulness. I could go down the list. You know, there's many adjectives to describe these folks. That's why they look and sound and feel the way they do day after day. That's the character and quality of a person who lives like that. Email Power, go ahead, sir. I'm going to move forward rather quickly. I may even check out around the 2-hour mark.
I just added the Cash App I'm using currently into my description, so I can grift as well. I want to join the grift clan, so so that my sound, at least my sound, could be better. Because apparently now I have lube ass headphones going on. So
yeah, why not? You guys aren't ever going to like work for yourselves or create a vision for yourself or dedicate yourself to anything and stick to something till it becomes successful. Just take the shortcut. Step less for yourself once again. Fuck your self-esteem and self-worth. Fuck your future destiny. Fuck your vision of how valuable you might be and not be, right? Throw it all away for the quick, easy $11. This is how pathetic they are online, just like Slow State and the rest of them. For the $11, they'll sell their soul and their future and everyone around them out. And they'll embarrass themselves regularly with no fucking shame.
Yeah, I'm thinking of just getting the disability and the food stamps too. Going all the way with it,
Fuck it. Why not? You may as well be disabled. That's why disability is so rampant at this point. Folks have accepted mentally and emotionally they're disabled. They can't do any better than they're doing. Okay. Let the government give you the $700 a month. You're such a fucking lowlife. You're not capable of more, right? Bill Gates is. He's a real intellectual. He's a real great conversationalist. He's really entertaining too, can't you tell? But you're a lowlife piece of shit who could never do and be better. Just let the government pay your way. Why not? Let the people online give you shit out of charity, though you create nothing.
So many have been convinced of those things, diagnosis and all these limits. They become excuses. And it really is crazy. Hey, Paul, I'm scheduled myself shortly. I'm going to step away and get my thoughts together. And thank you. Thank you, brother. I had fun again today. I love what you do.
Sure thing, Mr. Talcott. I appreciate you dropping by.
Later, Jack.
All right, let's move along here. I've had enough of the continual nonsense from the same personality types, same presentments, the same gambits, the same excuses and justifications. It's rather old. I'm moving on from the Gaza situation. I'm over that too. What to know about China's campaign to hack into U.S. infrastructure? Well, go ahead and listen because they're probably going to lay out exactly what some folks might say the ubiquitous they are going to do to you, and they're going to blame China and Russia for it. So, yeah, why not? May as well listen in. Doesn't bother me none. I've been preparing this whole time for them to do it anyway. So let's get to it, folks.
As we've previously reported, FBI Director Christopher Wray testified before Congress that Chinese hackers have positioned themselves to wreak havoc on U.S. infrastructure.
Yeah, right.
PRC hackers are targeting our critical infrastructure.
Yes, he's giggling and laughing while he can barely hold the smile back.
Electrical grid, our oil and natural gas pipelines, our transportation systems, and the risk.
Yeah, pick your next racist outlier that you can blame everything on.
Now.
The Chinese are also targeting businesses and home offices, according to the FBI.
The yellow people did it. It just works so easily for these dumb middle-class slaves.
And what might happen.
Just tell them the brown people did it, the blacks did it, the yellows did it.
Chris is also the former director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and he's currently Chief Public Policy Officer at Sentinel-1. Chris, good to be with you again. All right. The U.S. says it sees evidence of, quote, actors maintaining access and footholds within some victim IT environments for at least 5 years. Okay, so the first question is, what is a victim IT environment? I mean, what is that?
Okay, I finally got Robert G's message here. He said, for your hard to dislike, that's an interesting take on it. I'm hard to dislike. There's a list of folks who disagree with that. Many of them are related to me. You're hard to dislike. Chump change for a cheese fund. Well, thank you, sir. A grifter and frauder online needs his cheese to stay sustained. So thank you for that.
That mean exactly?
Am I crazy, or is this what
The Chinese are coming. The Chinese are coming. I'm a modern day Paul Revere.
Treating the water, gas.
That looked like the article
petroleum
we were
moving through pipelines,
looking at the other
things that
day.
really do keep the economy going and making sure that we keep our wits about us on a daily basis.
Yeah, this guy's nose is so bulbous from all the fucking cocaine and alcohol he's drinking and snorting. He can barely even be seen on camera. Other inauthentic corporate male waste. You could just look at these guys. You ever this is what I used to go to Manhattan, and you just sit around, and this is who just walks up and down the street predominantly, is these people. And you're just sitting there like this, like snafu snaps. You're sitting on a fucking bench watching these beta males and females go by, and it's just so hard not to typecast them. It's so hard not to be judgmental, because when you go and interact with one of them, it's one for one every time, the same fucking personality. Down to the hair, down to the fucking corduroy outfit, down to the bullshit logic, philosophies. It's amazing to me. I can't say it enough how fascinating. About 12 years ago, I think, it all clicked, and I just saw self as self completely, and I started to realize I'm in a simulation of holographic mirroring. There's only one self here, and on the lowest level, there's like 64 combinations of being, like the I Ching says, right? I don't even give it that much, but I'll accept their claim. I think it's more of a metaphorical claim. Like, there's only X amount of combinations, and once you got that down, you start to realize how they run a train on everybody. Because there's one self on the highest level. On the lowest level, there's a handful of combinations of reactions and responses or personality types. Totally able to be deduced down into a cause and effect program order scenario. And then they want to tell me there's no evidence of God in creation. I go, there's so much evidence, I can't overlook it consistently. It's piled up beyond where I can see over it.
How do they get in there, and how have they been there for so long?
I think back to my time in office at CISA, and even back then, starting in 2017, that the Chinese were well known to have visited our domestic critical infrastructure. I can think back to one compromise in 2013 of a natural gas pipeline in the Midwest. So they've been here. What they tend to do, and probably the most frustrating aspect about it, is that it's all preventable. What they do is they go after the IT systems that power the digital infrastructure of these utilities, of these communications firms, and they go after.
All right. So is it possible they're laying it out maybe 3 to 5 years ahead of time, so they get everybody funneled into crypto and on the digital credit system and no more U.S. currency because BRICS said we're done with the dollar? Is that possible? And then maybe once they get everybody on the digitized social credit system with the digital currency, the yellows did it. We're shutting you down. They do the same fucking shit every time. They tell you like 3 to 5 years out what they're going to do and who they're going to blame it on. And then they're going to lay it out how they're going to suck into the system to spit you out. Fascinating. Amazing. Because they have to destroy the nationalist empires, right? They have to destroy any nationalist nation with principles and values and the idea of rights and spiritual faith. Chinese don't have that. That's why they're going to be used and blamed, because they're the next breakthrough takeover culture, completely atheistic, completely collectivized, completely hive-minded, and cowardly and unwillful, the majority of them. A lot like, conceivably, a lot like how the American citizens have become, really. I mean, I can't see much difference other than the last vestige of a culture that is dying or is not being recognized or embodied rights, freedom, principles, spiritual faith. So it makes sense. Just like Hing Hong Bo Shane said, hey, I got caught at January 6th. Hey, I'm a fucking agent. Hey, I'm working off my charges. And Paulie, boy, you're an idiot. You think you're going to stay on America and talk rights, freedom, principles, spiritual faith? It's all over, pal. He told me that on open broadcast. Could there be any more evidence of a corporate agent or a spiritual shaitan agent? I don't think so. And he says, gun boy, you're going to have to. They're doxing me. They're doxing. How long was I cut out there at penile power? My back? Testing?
I think you
Yeah,
only cut
you're
out
good.
for a quick second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? You know what? It doesn't exist. It didn't happen. Beaucheney's a great guy. He's a patriot. He says, move to China, give up the guns. There's no point fighting the New World Order. He admits there's a New World Order, says he's aligned with it, moves to where they're going to relocate it, and then says, I'm a gun boy, and tries to get me indicted. All the same person over and over again. You either have a real American / real man, because it's not about American. You have real men and women, and then you have the rest of these demonic, deceived, misleading cowards who've thrown in with the other side. And they're prepared to ride it out. They want to be on the side of the winning team, even if it's the most deviant and devilish side that you could be on. They have no scruples. That's the thing. There's no more objective logic, morals, and ethics with the majority of these folks. You better get out now, work toward a goal, save something, reinvest it, live on the land, and create a community and a family. Let these folks go. I'll bring one day. I'm going to play the Bob Grant tapes from the 1990s and 80s that we grew up on. Right? I told you my uncle was big on like classic movies, music, radio, all of it, broadcasting. I'll play you the tapes one day here. We'll do a late night special. We'll just sit around and listen together. It'll be like a watch party. I won't really talk. And you can hear him back in the 1980s and 90s where this is all being laid out and he's describing the same thing. And we're seeing it get worse and worse. And the last 3 years was just a big garden party. 4 years to really come out in the open. They've done it over and over again. How many times can we loop here, people? How many times can we loop here on the same dozen ideas? Your thoughts, Joshua, before we move on? Who else is down there?
I think a lot of the looping is something that we've talked about for about 4 years, and it consistently goes on. I have a few theories on that, but I do not have the intellect to process or articulate basically my thoughts on that. But maybe I'll try to do that one day. But it seems like, talking about it 4 years ago, talking about it today, I think the only question you can formulate now is it getting better or worse?
I think it's always in the process of 2 steps forward, 3 steps back.
Yeah.
Right. It just seems to be the case. And again, it's a realm of choice. So you get apprehension of something and then you choose to act on it or you don't. If you don't, then the probability just goes up instantly that you're going to see certain things on a wide scale. So yeah, it's a fun simulation game. Whatever. Let's move on because we got more. National security threat. White House addresses the Intel chair. Let us know about it. I don't know how much of this I can take.
Congressman Mike Turner issued a statement saying that President Biden should declassify intelligence related to a, quote, serious national security threat. What can you say about the threat and what the administration plans to do?
So first, I reached out earlier this week to the Gang of Eight to offer myself up for a personal briefing to the Gang of Eight. And in fact, we scheduled a briefing for the 4 House members of the Gang of Eight tomorrow. That's been on the books. So I am a bit surprised that Congressman Turner came out publicly today in advance of a meeting on the books for me to go sit with him alongside our intelligence.
So we're referring to a group of folks as the Gang of Eight. What's that all about? I'm not up on that lingo. Seems kind of a bizarre term to use in a political setting.
And defense professionals tomorrow. That's his choice to do that. All I can tell you is that I'm focused on going to see him, sit with him, as well as the other House members of the Gang of Eight tomorrow. And I'm not in a position to say anything further from this podium at this time, other than to make the broad point that this administration has gone further and in more creative, more strategic ways dealt with the declassification of intelligence in the national interest of the United States than any administration in history. So you definitely are not going to find an unwillingness to do that when it's in our national security interest to do so. At the same time, we, of course, have to continue to prioritize and focus very much on the issue of sources and methods. We'll do that.
Oh, so this is apparently like lingo. The Gang of Eight is a colloquial term for a set of 8 leaders within the United States Congress who are briefed on classified intelligence matters by the executive branch. So again, more sorcery and mocking, more coming out in the open. They'll literally tell you pathetic, embarrassing, weak-ass fucking slaves that they're a Gang of 8, and that's your U.S. corporation. So when are you going to get a clue and be willing to like live fully or die for what's true and what's right, rather than continue to let the Gang of 8 run your life and laugh and giggle at you and mock you every fucking day? And then at some point here, we can get to the news story about how the slaves are apparently going the other way now, is the narrative. Of course, the narrative will fit what they're going to do about it, as we know. But it doesn't surprise me if it's organic and authentic. Folks are shooting police all over major cities is the new narrative. And I told you I was noticing an uptick in that because I had 3 to 5 within a month body cam videos of folks doing drive-bys on policy enforcement. Where do you think that leads, folks? Exactly where they want it to lead, like it always does. This is how easily predictable and suggestible and manipulatable the average member of the public is. So what seems to be organic and authentic is just a zeitgeist, the term they've all been using now, a sign of the times. Right? This is where we're at. This is what they've engineered. And this is what the rest of them have bought into and allowed to happen and grow up around them. This is pretty much what happens when the majority of selves and the collectivized self rebuke their truest self and accept less for themselves and each other. You have complete degradation and degeneration and disempowerment. And that's what we're seeing on all levels, from the cutting of the children's genitals off and stomping outside the other day, telling us it's trans rights, telling the people they can do methamphetamine and shit on the sidewalk, telling them to give more money for stimulus so the folks cannot have to work a livelihood, telling them to send more money to Ukraine. They just signed another $200 billion, whatever the fuck it was. I don't want to say something that's incorrect. It's pure madness. It's pure insanity. And I love it. You know, what better of a show to be part of, right? You get born in this world, you get a ticket to the freak show. You get born on America, you get a front row seat, right? So I guess that's what we're a part of and or observing and working to co-create out of to the best of our abilities. What the fuck else is new, huh? Okay. Let's see. I'm going to have to come up with a new rap soon, like Better Homes and Gardens or something. I just comment on like architecture, different structures, different gardening techniques. Maybe I do like a travel show. I go Guy Fieri route. I dye my hair. I put on some bracelets and I just go around eating shit, talking about it. You guys cool with that? Would you still love me? Would you? No. You're not. You're right. Yeah. And you know what? It's been about a year, I think, or 1.5 years since I've been last arrested. We're coming up on the point here where that's going to have to happen again, right? For you guys to stick around and like what I do, I'm going to have to get arrested again sometime soon. You know?
I don't think
that's a marketing promotions thing, is what that is.
Yeah, I think the arrest thing is like, that's kind of fizzled out. There's no more bang for your buck on the arrests now. I think it has to do with the resolution. You know what I mean? Like where we're going to get resolution in this whole matter. Going back to what you were saying about the cops being shot at and doing drive-bys, it's like it's either a ploy to take away a Second Amendment right that's not really a right in this country. It's more of a privilege. But you know, so either
okay, how about a toy broadcast where I just open up toys? We comment on it. That's doing really well. Billions of dollars in views.
As long as it's not a box called Mommy's Toys or Jack's Toys, then we're good. We don't need to open up that box.
Insanely creepy. I don't know why you put that imagery in my head, but okay. Let's move on here. What else do we have? Breaking: 3 DC police officers shot amid crime wave. Well, there you go. I segued without even knowing it. Major crime wave in major cities. is the new narrative. Police being shot all over. What are we going to do about these slaves going down the drain? If only we had a world government force to bring in to police them, get them under control. Where is it? Oh, we're on commercial break on Fox Noise. Forget it. It didn't happen. They got to give me the 6-hour live news version. Here we go. 3 DC officers shot serving
right
restaurant.
now, 3 police officers were shot while
Major
serving
crime
a
wave in
at a
major
home
cities.
right here in our nation's capital. The gunfire sending officers just flooding into the streets. The suspect then barricading himself inside a home. Several schools in the area were shut down as a precaution. Caroline Patricus of our ABC affiliate here in DC is following the developing details for us. Caroline, what more do we know about what led up to the shooting?
Yeah, Kira, all of this unfolded as DC police officers were responding to serve an arrest warrant issued on behalf of the Humane Society here in the nation's capital. When that suspect did not come outside, that they tried to enter and he started firing shots at them. This was an animal cruelty case that we're talking about. DC's police chief Pamela Smith said that when officers tried to make contact with the suspect inside, he started firing. The chief said right now he's still barricaded inside of that home, inside the southeast neighborhood. They're in constant contact with the suspect. They were told that there are dogs inside of the home, possibly pit bulls. We spoke to neighbors who heard those early morning gunshots ring out.
I was sitting at the table. All of a sudden, I heard about at least 10 shots.
10 shots?
10 shots. So all of a sudden, about 5 or 10 minutes later, then you hear all the police start coming.
Yeah, so still an active
Police
situation as of this hour. That suspect is still barricaded inside of that home. We're here at MedStar Hop.
All right, well, there you go. The narrative was Fox Noise says that police are being shot all over major cities in what's to be described as a new crime wave. Urban youth, I'm sure, responsible for that. A little bit of coded lingo. You know. Democrats insist Biden is sharp and on top of his game, and I'd like to hear their argument. Get to that.
He's not cognitively fit to do his job. And I think that, when the president got up the other day and tried to speak to the nation, he just reiterated and reinforced the idea that we are in trouble in this country right now from a leadership standpoint. That's not in the best interest of this country. So I just want to let everybody know that we are going to continue to make this an issue.
Well, that is the former White House doctor, Congressman Ronnie Jackson, pulling no punches on Republicans' plans. As you know, continuously polling has shown it's a concern, and it's resonating with voters in a deep way. The latest one showing 78% say the president is too old for another term. Worse, 71% of Democrats say the same. Democrats said to be worried privately, but many are still defending him publicly.
What I know who I'm going to choose. It's going to be one of the most successful presidents in modern American history.
His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years.
President Biden, who I've been around numerous times just in this last year, is sharp. He's focused. He's bright.
This is a man who is sharp, who is on top of his game, who knows what's going on. He's smart. He's on his game.
Sharp and on his game. Fox White House correspondent Peter Doocy, who is definitely sharp and on his game. Peter.
I hope so, Harris. Meanwhile, officials.
All right, I don't care about Peter Doocy.
How can you?
I just wanted to hear them say. Yeah, I just wanted to watch him with a straight face say that he was sharp and on his game, and they did it, and that's good entertainment for me. I like that. I get something out of that. I don't know if you guys get something out of that, but it does something for me. Your thoughts?
Well, I kind of feel like we're watching Weekend at Bernie's, which was this movie where they paraded like this dead guy around for a weekend, pretending he was still alive. And that's what they're doing with Joe Biden at this point. He passed away a long time ago, and they just like parade his body around, and like they figured out a way to get him to talk and everything.
Right. All right. Well, we got a Kansas City Chiefs parade shooting apparently up to 45 minutes ago. 8 to 10 people injured. mass shootings every day.
Kansas City, and I believe that we have a guest here ready to join us on the phone. Lieutenant Randy Sutton, former lieutenant with the Las Vegas Police Department. Can you hear me, Randy?
Yes, I do. I hear you fine.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so we have Randy on the line here as we're watching this live picture coming in out of Kansas City right now. Randy, as always, thanks so much for joining us here as we're watching this very developing scene in Kansas City. As you're probably aware, this was the Chiefs celebration parade that was happening. All of a sudden, we saw people running into Union Station. We've since learned that 2 people have been detained and several have been shot around the area. Hearing this news, what went through your mind as you heard this and watched it unfold?
Well, the first thing that came through my mind was I am not surprised. There has been so much attention being drawn from these mass events where so many people are congregated in a confined area that it is rife for active shooters with an agenda. The fact that there are 2 shooters that have been taken into custody is very troubling, which that means that this isn't some lone individual who made this attack, but it was 2 people who have conspired together. That indicates to me that this was something that was thought out and planned. And when you have multiple shooters in one particular location, that tells me that there is something afoot here that is not just a random shooting.
Yeah, Randy, I appreciate you explaining that too. I mean, we know that those 2 people have been detained and that several were shot. Knowing what we know right now, that this happened around Union Station, of course, during a very busy time when so many people had gathered to celebrate the Kansas City Chiefs. I know it's all so early on in the investigation, but to know that there were 2 people, for it to happen where it did, does this make you think that this could have been a premeditated event here?
There's two things that are a forefront in my mind. One is that it is either gang related, that when you have 2 people that they might have been related as far as some gang affiliation.
All right, I'm over it. Let's move on. Mass shootings are a regular thing on America at this point. It's part of our culture. I don't appreciate this guy downing it. He just doesn't understand. Free Palestine written on Lakewood shooter's gun. Do we even want to hear that? What the propaganda narrative is going to be?
Oh, of course. Joel Osteen, bang bang.
Okay, you want it? Yeah, that's good because he's big, high profile, and if we can shoot up more of like Joel Osteen's, I didn't do it, but if the slaves can shoot up more of like Joel Osteen's churches and people like that, it's probably going to be a hot button issue that something's going to have to be done about. We can only hope because someone's got to take these fucking guns. Huh?
Yeah, I'm sure it was just a coincidence that it happened on Vatican's birthday, Vatican's 95th birthday at that, like the 95 Theses. Not to be confused with feces.
Where's Smith Preacher when you need him?
Right. Well, I got him covered here. So yeah, 3 years and 11 months exactly after Convid on 3/11 in 2021 or 2020 rather. Again, I'm sure just a coincidence. Again, yeah.
All right, let's watch it. Let's see what they got to say. Do we have video of it?
Law officials in Houston, Texas say the suspect is down after a shooting Sunday afternoon at the mega church of celebrity pastor Joel Osteen. The shooter, a woman between the ages of 30 and 35, entered the church accompanied by a child and allegedly began firing a long rifle before being shot by 2 off-duty police officers. The child, a 5-year-old boy, was hit in the gunfire and is in hospital in critical condition. Police say it's unclear who fired the shot that struck the boy. A 57-year-old man was also hit in the leg and is recovering in hospital. It's unclear what the shooter's motive was or what her relationship was to the child.
So approximately at 1:53 p.m., a female, approximately 30, 35 years old, entered the property on the west side here in the parking lot of Lakewood Church. She entered the building She was armed with a long rifle and a trench coat with a backpack, accompanied by a small child, approximately 4 to 5 years old. Once she entered, at some point she began to fire. I want to compliment the off-duty officers who were working extra employment here. One TABC agent, 4 years of service, 38 years old. An HPD off-duty officer, 28 years old, 2 years of service. Both officers, the officer and agent, engaged, striking the female. She's deceased here on the scene. Unfortunately, the 5-year-old kid was hit.
All right, I want to get to the video because apparently we got video of this, so let's see what they got here.
About that deadly shooting at Joel Osteen's mega church in Houston. We're seeing new video showing the chaos Sunday as the shots rang out. Police say the shooter was a 36-year-old woman with a history of mental illness who had attended the church in the past year. Omar Villafranca has the latest.
Investigators are
we're not going to get video, are we?
new videos like this, showing panicked churchgoers.
Showing nothing actually happening except banging and people looking confused.
By her side, police say 36-year-old Genesee Moreno walked into the megachurch carrying an AR-style rifle. When she was confronted by off-duty officers working security, she opened fire.
They were repetitive, boom, 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 boom.
The sound sent the congregation scrambling as security returned fire, killing the shooter.
If it weren't for them, the number of casualties and victims would have been much higher. There is no doubt.
The shooter's son appeared to be caught in the crossfire. The boy remains hospitalized in critical condition. A 57-year-old man who was also struck has been released from the hospital. While investigators zero in on a motive, they revealed yesterday one of the shooter's guns had a sticker reading Palestine on it. They also found anti-Semitic writings, but say they believe it may be related to it.
It's like every time, bro. You can't deny this. Every time. Oh, there's a Palestine sticker on the gun, and then she leaves anti-Semitic writings just lying around the house. Like, come on.
Perfect.
You're like the ELS guy too, right?
What are the chances?
Yeah, it's every time. It's every time. This way we can connect all the dots, right? Oh, she left all the clues for us to connect the dots about what this is really about. So we got mass shooting check, Israel propaganda check. Man. Every time.
Her ex-husband's family.
There was a familial
dispute.
And
she was transgender. Boom. There you go. Lee gave me the trifecta there. There's got to be a trifecta that comes in threes, right? We got a tranny who is doing mass shootings, got to get the guns, and is supporting Palestine because she's an anti-Semitic who leaves ramblings around about Jews. Great stuff.
Well,
I got,
it almost reminds you of the last
hold
one,
on,
right?
Paul.
Coventry
All I know is
Covenant School or whatever.
You guys are both killing me.
Okay.
Both of my streamers right now are killing me.
Okay, well that whole combination right there that you just listed off, that takes balls. You know what I'm saying? So
great stuff.
Are Jewish.
Thank you.
Officials said the shooter has a history of mental illness and was arrested at least 6 times, including a weapons charge. Our CBS affiliate, KHOU,
He tried to tell this guy, when you shut up, you'll understand.
When you shut up, you'll understand.
She was violent many times. We've asked for help from police and received it many times, but she was still allowed to own guns.
For CBS Mornings, Omar Villafranca in Texas.
Thank you, Omar. Okay. Moving right along. World at war. U.S. and China scramble for Antarctica. Why are they scrambling for Antarctica, I wonder? What's there? Power? Do you have a conspiracy theory for us? Hot off the presses? Nothing. Okay. He's charging up his laptop screen. I charge the screen like one of those blasters, just to charge it up and then let it go.
Hello and welcome to this edition of World at War.
Where did that guy just walk in from?
The scramble for Antarctica is well and truly underway. Even though Antarctica is planet Earth's only continent that has no native population, there are already several claimants for Antarctica's territory and its resources. And this week, China unveiled its latest research center on Antarctica. Called the Qinling, the crucifix-shaped Chinese structure will be staffed year-round with quarters sufficient to house as many as about 80 people in the summer months. But the location of the new Chinese base on the Antarctic continent has sparked some immediate concerns.
Yeah.
Qinling is expected...
When you start seeing all the major world powers running down to Antarctica to make bases, you start to think they're planning on blowing everybody up. And I'm sure that's what it's designed to fucking elicit, right? That's the sentiments designed to elicit. But I'm sure that is always on the table, right? Potentially. But the theorists tell me that there's no real nukes. Nukes don't exist. So I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. But yeah, they're apparently scrambling for bases on Antarctica now. And they're like, nothing to see here. All right, it's just Fed's going to cut rates. We're going to get some more money printed up. It's all going to be good. We got it.
An observatory with a satellite ground station. And this means that the new Chinese research base can collect signals intelligence from the US-aligned Australia and New Zealand, especially the rocket telemetry data from Australia's recently constructed Arnhem Space Center. But China has rubbished these claims.
As a consultative party to the Antarctic Treaty, China has always conducted its activities in accordance with the relevant provisions of the Antarctic Treaty system. The construction of the Chinese Antarctic Station is fully in line with international rules and procedures on Antarctica and will be conducive to enhancing scientific knowledge of Antarctica among mankind, providing a platform for cooperation between China and other countries in Antarctic scientific research, and promoting peace and sustainable development in Antarctica.
Promoting peace.
The Antarctic Treaty that was signed in 1959.
We are going to Antarctica to promote peace. Stupid. What do you think we are doing?
Has defined Antarctica as all the land and the ice shelves south of the 60° south latitude. The treaty recognized...
They're not really going to tell us what they're doing down there, are they? Probably not. All right, there's no point in listening to this. I just realized. We got to send Jack Talcott to Antarctica in light of the fact that we're now realizing they're promoting peace. He should be part of that. If anyone should be part of that, it should be him. I just love how easy... oh, man, it's so great. Like that's what my calling was, pimping and macking. I missed it, right? My true calling is I just can't get over the level of like respect and genuflection I have for the master pimps of this realm. They're just so good at what they do. They're really not that good at what they do, but they're so good at what they do. Hey, we're heading down to Antarctica to promote peace. Fucking nations are collapsing. They're bringing fascism in everywhere. They're spraying everybody down. They're calling for World War III and nukes. Oh, it doesn't get any better than this, huh, folks? We don't even need to sensationalize. It's all right there. Your thoughts? Aaron, do you have any thoughts about...
is where the last reset happened, and the next one's going to happen somewhere where there's a shit ton of people, like the U.S., perhaps, and South America. Who knows? NJ Jeep Girl probably knows. Jeep Girl, where is it going to happen?
They're going to the reptilian base to let them all out of their cage to promote peace. There's an underground reptile cage on Antarctica, and they're going to let them all out, but it's going to be for peace, okay? Don't be worried. Apollyon. They're letting Apollyon out of its cage for peace. Okay. Where are we at here? I can't take much more. Dad says system failed son after boy hands Las Vegas police bag of drugs. Mom arrested. Well, yeah, I could have told you that. These white people are so dumb. They thought when they called the police on mom, like locked, had the kid locked in the bathroom and called the father. The father said, call the police. And then the son handed the drugs to the policeman. And the father thought that was going to like end well. We were trying to help them out. Here's a clue for all you Caucasians out there. The police are really not there to help you and care for you. I know they say they are. That's what confuses you. Not really. They're probably just going to put you in jail and ruin your life and take a whole bunch of money from you. And you're still going to be addicted after the fact. And maybe even during. Right? It's on you to get off drugs and alcohol.
And
It's not about what your country can do for you. It's about what you can do for your country. Right? Yeah, I think that applies. Okay, let's get to that. Failed system.
That was the first incident where we realized that even with red-handed type knowledge, it still doesn't mean anything in the justice court there.
Tonight, a father calling out the criminal justice system. This after a story only the 8 News Now investigators brought you right here last night.
So now this viral video shows a 9-year-old handing an officer a bag of drugs. Tonight, his father is sitting down only with Vanessa Murphy.
This is a 9-year-old boy handing a police officer 100 grams of methamphetamine.
Thank you. So we were called to come check on your son.
The child says he found the bag of drugs under his mother's nightstand. That's when he locked himself in the bathroom and called his father on a tablet. The parents are divorced.
I mean, he was breathing hard. He was very nervous. He was scared.
I know that my kid went in the bathroom for an hour.
Anthony Cruz recalls hearing his ex-wife in the background.
She would come at him and demand him to open the door. What's going on? And maybe a few times she kind of yelled at him, but she was also kind of trying to seem like she was trying to figure out what was happening.
Okay, man.
Cruz calls police and rushes to the Inspirata home.
Just take some deep breaths.
Henderson police try to comfort his son.
What did you find inside the house that made you scared? Okay. Do you know what drugs look like?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
How does a 9-year-old know what that is?
That's a good question. I have no idea. He said that he's seen stuff like that before over there. And I'm guessing just from society outside world, maybe, seeing things on TV, movies.
Inside the home, Kendra Long claims the drugs aren't hers.
This is not my stuff. I have a boyfriend that has access to my front door.
Right.
I don't know this guy this well. However, do I give you his name? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, did my ex-husband put it there? I don't know.
To even put it in the hands of my son for a second would be, I would never entertain that idea. I would never use my son to try and set somebody up with something that could be potentially deadly to him.
Does Gus feel okay?
Long was arrested that night in July of 2022.
It was finally like something was coming out, proving what I've been trying to say has been going on for a long time.
But Anthony Cruz and his wife, Rebecca, would learn Long would soon be released from jail here.
I was thinking this was it, because I think when somebody gets caught red-handed, they go to jail. But I learned that's not the case.
Court records reveal Long posts a $25,000 bond to be released from jail that day. Prosecutors.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a kinky story right away. Something going on here. He's got all of a sudden the bitch cuts in he's with saying, we thought it was over. Like, I think she put that shit there. The second woman who he's with now. He's like, I wanted to get her out of the picture. We thought this was over. The bitch came right out the next day. Sorry. I don't know how that happened. And that was kind of strange. They just went, he was doing the whole thing, and then it went to her, and we all thought it was over. And it's like, yeah, what do you think? People go away forever when you get arrested with drugs? Like, yeah, you can get out the next day. Oftentimes, you don't even have to put up anything. I mean, ask me. I left. I didn't have drugs. I had cannabis. But, no bail, no bond. You just kind of leave. What are they going to do? Oh, you got powder in the house. You're going to put you in prison? I mean, for how long? That's for black people. Everyone knows that. They don't put white middle-class mothers in prison for methamphetamine. Your thoughts on any of this? Am I making sense? Aaron was about to comment. He thought better of it.
No, I don't have anything. That's it. I mean, it's just like, I don't even know how she could even be charged if she didn't have the stuff. And I don't know. It's just like, I've been watching too much like cop stuff where you just don't say anything. And
yeah, in these people's world, like, you get arrested and they don't see you again. Like, they never heard a trial, and like they're for in America where you just find drugs on someone and you never see them again. They don't get to come back out. They don't get to go to trial. It's just, that's it. We'll see you. See you in 20. they want like Indonesia. They want America to become like Indonesia, where they just find something on you, never see them again. It's amazing. These people are all so retarded. You listen to the average person speaking. How retarded are you? How little life experience do you actually have?
I'm wondering how many people just watch the news though. And I'm really truly I'm wondering, because it seems like people that I talk to know what the hell's going on a, level. Things are not right the way they're not right as far as things go. And they know that, and they don't agree with this and they don't agree with that. But how many people actually watch the news and buy into that stuff? And not only just the news, but the TV in itself, because it's all a programming. It's literally all a programming to get people to think a certain kind of way. So they say the Gang of Eight, because the guy said it like 5 times right there in the little thing. In that one little like 30-second clip, he said the Gang of Eight, the Gang of Eight, the gang, to let people know these guys are in charge. This is what's going on. They tell you everything through the TV, and they give you what to expect out of this world. So I don't know. The only thing that we can do is kind of think for ourselves and not buy into it and say no thanks to the, learn more to the point where you don't, or just even realize, look, I have a human right. I have divine rights to not be messed with. I'm not messing with anybody. When you start messing with other people, you're kind of giving up those rights. Until you do, though, you're not. But until you know that, you can't even stand on your own 2 feet. So it's good to have, it seems like the internet has helped to kind of broaden the understanding of this kind of stuff, but it seems like even like programs like yours, people have to be in self-help or self-development to even be watching something like this. There are very few people that actually want to learn more about themselves. Very few. I've been in that industry, and a lot of people don't. They just go along with whatever's going on, and that's what's ever on TV. And the more that we can share that stuff's not real with other people, to the point where everybody can kind of band together, then we can affect change.
What do you think about Scott's baloney tits? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it makes me kind of hungry.
Right. Okay, let's move on. Thank you, Christos, for resharing that imagery that he does not want you resharing, because he's gotten very upset about that picture. And you went ahead and put it as your background. All right, I can't stop you.
Oops.
And I made it full screen just to comment on it. All right, let's move forward. BRICS currency, the time for the US dollar is over. We're going to get to the numismatic portion of the broadcast. Well, yeah, the dollar's over. Was right.
On the verge of revolutionizing the global
Bitcoin's
financial
here.
system
Fuck the dollar.
with their own currency. And could this new venture challenge the hegemony of the US dollar? What does this mean for international trade and the global economy? In this video, we'll explore the motivations behind the BRICS countries' push for a new currency, examine whether it could be backed by gold, and discuss the varied stances of its member states on this groundbreaking initiative, impact on the global financial system, and member state stands. In this video, we will cover motivations behind the BRICS currency, potential gold backing, challenges in implementation, impact on the global financial system, and member state stands. Before we dive deeper, would you mind showing some love by hitting the like button? It really helps us reach more amazing viewers like you. A huge thank you for your support.
Guys bullshitting the viewers
The
now. saying
potential
they're
impact
amazing.
of a new BRICS currency on the global financial system, and particularly on the dominance of the US dollar, is subject to debate. Experts suggest that if the BRICS currency stabilizes, it could weaken the power of US sanctions, lead to a decline in the dollar's value, and possibly precipitate an economic crisis affecting American households. Additionally, this could accelerate a global trend toward de-dollarization, With more countries seeking alternatives to the US dollar for their trade and reserve holdings, the introduction of a BRICS currency could also have significant implications for various sectors, including oil and gas, banking and finance, commodities, international trade, technology, tourism and travel, and the foreign exchange market. Moreover,
all right, well, I thought that this was a news outlet. Apparently, it's a independent being, so I don't want to get hit with the copyright. I got to kind of be careful with that. I'll try to say I'm stealing their content, using it as my own. Yeah, we're aware of the BRICS deal. Apparently, currency replacement program right on time because Bitcoin's shooting through the roof. Everything as it should be. You will be assimilated. Slaves will be assimilated by Bitcoin and the digital currency system if Klaus has his way.
Biometrically, biodigitally, blockchaining to the beast system through the bricks. You know, when you think of bricks, you think, bricks, like constructing a prison. Am I thinking off base here? Am I reaching? I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence they come up with these names. That's all I'm saying.
Mr. Sean, I am in my boxers right now. Would you like to do karaoke?
Lindsay.
Where is Brielle? Where is Brielle and Beerly? I'm in my boxers right now. Tar kind of sounds like Gold Member. Paul is my father.
I love gold.
I'm in my boxers doing karaoke. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. How did I get here?
Should I take my shirt off?
Smoking a pancake? You said something about Montegraph? All right, let's move on.
I wish someone could do his laugh. Yeah, let's move on. We'll get back to
that. Gold and silver as legal tender. We already went over that. I'll go over it tomorrow potentially. All right, let's get some cop shooting citizens. There you go. Get some cop shooting citizen slaves.
Wrong guy, sorry.
Yeah, that was dope on you.
Yeah, that was dope. I like that. Great stuff. Man tries to flee New Jersey police getting shot in the process. Body cam footage. Very disturbing. Skip ahead.
Pennsylvania. Body cam, a new beginning.
Body cam, horrible ending.
What's that? So he's looking for it because he doesn't have it. Did a lot of moving around. You try to keep up. Yeah, I know. 311 dispatch. 311. 936. Construction route to Cleveland. 10-4. Step up. Look. Open the door. You gotta step out of the car. What? I can't hear you. What's your name, man? Okay, we just need you to step out of the car. That's it. If you don't step out of the car, I'm gonna break the window and get you out of the car, okay? You got one more warning, okay?
Stop reaching behind the fucking seat. Stop reaching.
Why don't you just open the door, man?
Open the door.
Open the door.
Step out of the car.
Open the door. Open the door. Just open the door,
Open
man.
the door. I'm not gonna tell
Step
you
out of
again.
the car, man.
I'm gonna break the window. Open the door and step out of the car. I don't care who you are right now. I'm telling you to step out of the car. Step out of the car. Step out of the car.
Not having a debate, bro.
Step out of the
Get out
car,
of the
man.
car.
You're gonna make this more difficult than it gotta be.
I'm gonna break the window. Then open the window. Open the door. Open the fucking door.
Open the door.
Stop reaching, bro. Open the door. I'm not gonna tell you again.
Open the door.
Then open the door. We are the cops. Okay. Open the door. You understand you're under arrest, right? You understand you're under arrest, right?
Obstruction. Open the door.
It's always obstruction.
Get out of the car.
Nope, he's trying to start the car. He's trying to start.
That probably didn't help him out too much.
Hands up!
Dispatch, shots fired. Shots fired. Get him out of the car. Get him out of the car. Start rendering it.
Put the car in park. Put the car in park. All right. Put the car in park. Put the car in park.
Get him out. Get him out.
Come on.
Start rendering it. Start rendering it.
Yeah. You got some gauze or something somewhere.
Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Hey, check it. Make sure you ain't got no gun on him, please. Check him right now.
You're checking him for a gun while he's dying? Amazing. He's still worried about his safety. the guy's dying there and can't even breathe. Check him for a gun. All right. Let me move along here. We'll do a couple more. I'm going to check out maybe a little bit before the 3-hour mark.
Can I just say real quick, and I'm gonna head out. But the problem is that people watch TV and they see these things on TV. They expect that the cops just have these kind of rights until they know different. They tell you this is just the way things are, and it takes each and every one of us to stand up and learn for ourselves to the point and stand up for ourselves to the point where that's not the way things are any longer. But people just expect that that's just the way things are. They would just watch that and think, "Oh, that's the cops. That's what the cops do." Because they've been programmed year after year after year after year, that these things are okay, and the general public accepts that. So it's, more odd to stand and tell people, "No, actually you don't have to do that." But got to be able to communicate it, but it's one by one, and for each person that's, stood up and gone to jail for it, good. Go to jail for it. It's worth it, because shit's not going to change until we change it. Anyway, thanks for having me up. I got to go. Life is good. I feel good. Good things are always happening to me.
All right, Aaron. We'll see you later. See here. Body cam police shoot drug suspect who took gun at gas station. The fuck?
Wait, what?
Hold on, am I missing something? This guy, did he pull a gun somewhere? Like, he just like ran in there to gun him down and he didn't have anything. Oh my god, he pulled the gun after they ran in and tried to gun him down.
Shots fired. Stand by.
Yeah, they ran in there like guns blazing and he tried to pull a gun to defend himself. How does he know those are cops the way they come in like that? Oh man, he just fucking. These people are fucked up, man. These are straight up stormtroopers. They just bust in there out of a fucking unmarked car. You don't even know they're police. You go to defend yourself in a split second. And he's going to give you a 3 to 5 up close and direct. It is just a hit squad at this point. Gangster hit squad. You know, the cartel don't even do shit like this. You know, the folks that they say are the gangsters and hitmen, they don't do shit like that. Running into a gas station, shooting up the whole place, and then trying to pretend like they shot him because he pulled a gun, right? Yeah, that's not what I saw. All right, one more, and I think I'm going to call it. Video shows police chase with shootout with heavily armed suspect.
At approximately 1:30 p.m., an Oklahoma City officer located the suspect driving east on Southwest 89th Street near Walker Avenue. Officers attempted to stop the suspect near Southeast 89th Street and Shields Boulevard. The suspect refused to stop for the officers, initiating a pursuit. At one point, the suspect stopped his vehicle at an angle next to a semi-truck, but then continued driving, eventually entering onto Interstate 35. As the suspect was on the northbound service road of Interstate 35, Sergeant Patton attempted to perform a TVI on the trailered boat of the suspect's vehicle. TVI stands for Tactical Vehicle Intervention and is a controlled contact maneuver to disable a fleeing suspect's vehicle.
Said that he had a gun in the car with him and shooting while driving, so he's armed.
The TVI was unsuccessful and the suspect continued driving, entering onto Interstate 35 northbound.
He's in a
While
chase
entering
with a
onto the
boat?
highway, the suspect vehicle swerved, hitting Sergeant Patton's vehicle. While driving north on Interstate 35, the suspect fired at an Oklahoma County deputy, striking his vehicle while traveling past Southeast 44th Street. The suspect continued to fire his gun at officers, which can be heard in the officer's dash cam video.
Hey, look good. Let me slide around you. I got a rifle. Hey, who's on front of the TV on train?
Get off the radio. Shots fired. He's shooting out of his window.
Everybody back off except for that front car. Let's give him a chance. Everyone's with you. You want me to call this? Yes, everyone call it.
Shots fired again. Shots fired. He's still shooting.
Officer Boxwell set up on the inside shoulder of southbound Interstate 35 around Southeast 25th Street and discharged his rifle at the suspect as he drove past him. The suspect continued driving. Shortly after, Sergeant Patton, who was the first patrol vehicle behind the suspect, discharged his rifle from inside his vehicle toward the suspect vehicle. The suspect swerved to the outside shoulder of the highway, but then continued north. The suspect entered onto Interstate 40 going east. The suspect suddenly exited the highway at the Air Depot exit, driving toward the Tinker Air Force Gate. The suspect held a rifle out of the window as he pulled up to the gate with several occupied vehicles around. As the suspect came to a stop at the gate, he was still holding the rifle out of the window before dropping it to the ground and exiting the vehicle with his hands in the air.
Tell him to get! Tell him to get! Move everybody! Get everybody out!
Several officers converged on the suspect and placed him into custody.
Tell them to get. Move everybody. Get everybody out. Hey.
Stop! Bro, stop! Stop! Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back. I can't. Get on your stomach. Bro, get on your stomach. Get on your stomach. Put your hands behind your back. I'm dead. Oh, shit. I'm dead. Bro, I'm dead. Put your hands behind your back. You're down. I'm dead.
They're like, his hands are behind his back, and they're like, well, we're just gonna zap you now because you shot at us and made us chase you. That's part of the treatment, right? You should have known that. They got to get a little bit of their aggressions out. All right, one more, because you got to see this one. I actually saw part of this one yesterday. Fascinating. Hold on. Yeah, so apparently this guy like does a roll and then shoots a guy who's handcuffed in a police car and claimed he was being shot at. You can't make this shit up. Well,
That last one reminds me of when the cop was the dog was eating my ear and my fucking arm, and then they had to simultaneously make sure to beat my face in at the same time just to be safe, to remain #safe. Yeah, good times, good memories. Those clips, man, I'm telling you, they bring up something. Like some good memories, some good memories, man.
All right, hold on. I gotta look for it here. Yeah, this is the one. I think this is something else. So apparently, there's a guy handcuffed in the back of that patrol car right now.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
He shoots into the patrol car and kills the guy who's handcuffed in there, claiming someone's shooting at him.
What? I'm in the car! I was shot through the car! Oh!
I didn't hear any gunshot. I didn't.
I'm good. Oh. I don't know. I might have hit my vest.
You might have not got shot at all.
I'm not. I don't know. It felt like it.
Felt like it. Incredible, these guys.
Jesse, come back. Mark you right there.
Dude, am I hit?
Now he doesn't know if he was shot or not. Amazing. Guns a guy down sitting in the patrol car, handcuffed, and says, "Am I hit?" All right, give me the final word. I'm going to check out of here. Then we'll be back tomorrow, as always, 12 to 3 MDT.
Keep moving and keep shaking. Peace.
Thank you, Christos. All right, Sean, I'll see you later. I don't know what kind of game you're playing. All right, folks. Another resoundingly successful broadcast. I'll be back tomorrow, as I said, 12 to 3. Somewhere within there, look for the notification. If you don't get it, it's probably because YouTube unsubscribed you to my channel. I don't know. They have some kind of issue with me, it seems. Maybe it's a mistake. It's one big misunderstanding. Not much else to say. I'm going to get on with my day. Peace and blessings to all of you folks. Thanks once again to the contributors and supporters behind and in front of the scenes. You are a blessing to I. So yeah, Mazel from out west. Much love, much love. I said it twice, so you could really feel it. Get on with your day. Right? Go be productive. Have a real conversation that you need to have, that you've been neglecting. Whatever you need to do, take your life and your relationship to the next level. I'm here for it. I support you. All right, folks, I'm out of here. If you could take religion and a spiritual process and make somebody activate a part of themselves that they didn't know was there, you got something there. And I think that's all of what we're doing in all ways, is trying to reunite, reactivate those parts of ourselves that we've had cut off or we've had dormant to try to survive in this sick and twisted dynamic. The spiritual practice, right? Certain things like I do here, just meeting with people daily, talking it out, doing a simulation, right? Imagining certain things, maybe a form of meditation, you could argue, will reform the perspective, will reform the way we think and feel and how we act and live, if there's truth there that resonates. So that's the modality I prefer, because I think anything else is kind of a shortcut, and really it's just a tool meant for extremes that, you know, even then you still have to come back to your life and learn how to live it. It might just be that everybody should have some experience in their life that takes them out of themselves and it forces them to surrender over to something so they can learn the art of surrender in certain situations. You know, how do we learn to really live and thrive again? Cool to have structure, habit, procedure, process, certain levels of responsibility, accountability that lead to success. How are we going to love again? How are we going to live again? How are we going to thrive and co-create, have community? Right? So I see both aspects in self, and I see a lot of those same aspects in others that come forth in these spaces. But again, it's a slippery slope in a world of religious dogmatics, when the other side of that is actual nihilist, infidel, worldly scum who really want a whole population on drugs. Right? It's a slippery slope, because one side's going to call you the devil, the other side's going to say, yeah, let's do that, so they can take drugs all day, every day, and claim it to be the all. I can't, that's why I can't support it and promote it, because I know what it will turn into.